Ohio State defeats Purdue on the road in West Lafayette. Final score 41-7. Definitely a much better start for the Buckeyes this week than what we saw against Maryland. You have the defense bending but not breaking to hold Purdue to a long field goal that was missed. The offense would then score a touchdown on their first drive, a missed extra point, making it 6-0. A very pass-minded first drive, which I do enjoy with the plethora of weapons that Ohio State has at their disposal on the pass, especially with both Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams both out. Emeka Egbuka, one of the usual passing weapons, also out for this game, but didn't make a difference against Purdue. You also have a Purdue offensive lineman in Luke Griffin carted off early in the first quarter. Hopefully he's okay. We had some useless reviews early on and a really bad Peacock broadcast. This game was stuck on Peacock. Not a lot of fans happy about it. We've been dealing with this all season, and the more, hopefully, the more they do this, the better the Peacock broadcast gets. But for this Ohio State-Purdue game, it was pretty rough. Pretty much no pregame coverage. The actual game itself, I don't think it was broadcast very well. Nothing like super egregious, but just an all-around kind of a blah presentation, blah broadcasters. Not a huge fan of the Peacock crew, but I guess that's what we're working with as far as all these conferences getting a bunch of money. I guess that also means you have to swallow a bit of a poison pill to get some of the games on these streaming platforms. So Ohio State got the ball back, good field position. Devin Brown got a 3rd-and-1 carry, and he would stay in the game in the red zone to get a touchdown rush as well to make it 13-0. At first I was thinking, okay, well, this is cool, I guess, but why was that? And I guess that's good. That was part of the game plan for this week, maybe giving Penn State something to look at for next week's game. Then you have Chip Trayanum taking a big hit and Woozy after, so an already thin running back room got all that much more injured when Chip Trayanum had to leave the game. First quarter ending with the Buckeyes up 13-0, driving down the field. Definitely seemed like they're in the driver's seat for the game. Purdue not really looking like they have any momentum. And it looked like Brown would have another touchdown run. However, it was fumbled on the way in, though. I do think the run game with Xavier Johnson and Dallin Hayden did start to get moving pretty well with those two as the backs. Dallin Hayden especially had a pretty impressive game against Purdue. He had a Marvin Harrison Jr. touchdown catch getting called back after review for a bit of a bobble going out of bounds. Cade Stover would get it on the play after, however, making it 20-0. Purdue then got a drive going late in the second quarter. They're getting their run games after Ohio State penalized themselves into a 3rd and 25 on their previous offensive drive with that holding and delay of game call. Ryan Day really not happy about that, but the defense made a good goal line stand to end the half on another missed field goal. So Ohio State goes into the locker room up 20-0. Second half starts. Ohio State drives right down the field. Dallin Hayden finishing that drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. Then Purdue answers with another missed field goal. It was a rough day for the Purdue field goal kicker. And then followed by a Cornell Tate heavy drive from Ohio State. Cade Stover catches another touchdown to finish that one off, making it 34-0. And at this point, the game was already over at halftime, but now it's officially just blown wide open. But Purdue, they kept trying. McCord with a strip sack deep in Buckeye territory late in the third quarter. Purdue would recover. Denzel Burke in that third quarter also, he would leave the game to be medically evaluated. Hopefully it's nothing long term with Penn State right around the corner. Not fun to see Denzel Burke go down after he's having a bit of a comeback resurgence this season. The Boilermakers would break the shutout in the fourth quarter following the strip sack, make it 34-7 at that point. Pretty much garbage time would follow that. You had Devin Brown getting snaps before he connected with Brandon Inniss for a long touchdown, getting to the final score of 41-7. So Ohio State doing exactly what they were supposed to do against Purdue. Sure, maybe if you want to nitpick it a lot, you maybe don't want the defense to give up 3 field goal long drives for Purdue. But again, Purdue was missing all of their kicks. It was kind of weird and bad conditions, but maybe you don't want the defense to be that bend don't break against Purdue, and I don't think the touchdown drive was really on them as Purdue started in their own red zone. So that's a bit of a nitpick there. I think that's for Ohio State standards, it is a bit nitpicky for my taste, but it is something that you could take if you're really looking for something to be concerned about. Hopefully Trey Henderson, Denzel Burke, Mayan Williams, and Emeka Egbuka either all or some significant combination of all of those players. Hopefully they heal up before next week in that big game. Penn State coming to the Shoe next Saturday at noon. And while the Purdue game was definitely encouraging, Penn State, a whole different level of opponent, likely going to be Ohio State's toughest game yet, including Notre Dame, who has just kind of looked worse and worse each week after that Ohio State game where, they beat Duke, but only by a little bit, and it came down to the wire, and then that convincing loss they had against Louisville. Perhaps Notre Dame not quite the new and improved Notre Dame that we thought they might have been when they played Ohio State. So Penn State coming in, we'll see what that's all about. I am a bit more excited for the Penn State game than I was for the Notre Dame game, especially that Ohio State, we saw them barely prevail over the Fighting Irish, and they did handle Purdue this week, but still, I'm still plenty nervous about the Penn State game. The team is still somewhat unproven against the better teams in the Big Ten. They have, they're undefeated in the Big Ten right now, but they haven't exactly played the toughest Big Ten opponents, and that changes next week as they have a battle with Penn State. Kind of a shorter breakdown video just because this game was just so obviously figured out pretty much within the first quarter. You could kind of tell how the game was going to go, but especially once the first half ended and then you got to 34-0. It was just kind of your run-of-the-mill, boring Ohio State wallops a much inferior Big Ten opponent in Purdue. Although, again, going to Purdue has been tough for Ohio State. I think it was, in their last 8 games, they were 3-5 at Purdue. So getting a win there, I guess, gets you closer to 500 in however many games you play. So that would be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did make it this far into it, leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you'd like to see more like it. You can let me know what you thought about this game and Ohio State moving forward down in the comments below. I'll see you at the next one.